Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Automation in Detail. Shiva here. In this video, we will discuss how to download and install Android Studio application on the Windows machine. Okay, and one more thing, guys, I am currently facing some recording issue on my Windows machine. Hence, I am directly recording this video on a MacBook. However, I have created a PPT which includes step-by-step installation process and setup of Android Studio application, and made sure that nothing is missed out. So please follow along so that you guys can successfully install this application on your Windows machine as well. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. Okay, so let's get started. So first, what I'm trying to do here is that I have opened a command prompt and typing ADB. So now the system is not able to recognize because ADB is a part of Android Studio application. So since it is not installed, right, it is throwing an error message saying that ADB is not recognized as an internal or external command. So that means Android Studio application is not installed or set up in the system. So we need to install this application. For that, we need to go to the browser and type Android Studio download for Windows and click on this first link, which will take us to this page. And the latest Android Studio version is Android Studio Ladybug. So this got released couple of weeks back. It is the latest version, and if you guys want to download the previous version of it, you need to go to the archive section. I'll add this link in the description section so that you guys can go to this link and download the version which you are looking for. So here in this page, we need to scroll down and agree to the terms and condition. So this page will include all the Android Studio latest version and also the previous versions. Previous version to Ladybug was Android Studio Cola. If you want to download this, you need to click on this drop down and click on this downloadable link. Okay, so if I click on this, it will start the download for us. So this is how you guys can download it. Okay, so let me download the latest Android Studio Ladybug version and setup. And before downloading that, we need to make sure that our system, that is our Windows system, follows some minimum requirements this Android Studio application is requiring. Okay, so that detail is present in the same page. We need to scroll to this section, getting started section. We need to click on this install Android Studio. So let me do that. So here we have the system requirements for Windows, and the minimum OS required is 64-bit Microsoft Windows 8. And the recommended one is any latest 64-bit version of Windows. Okay, if you guys are using Windows 10 and 11, it's good. And coming to the RAM, it requires minimum 8 GB of RAM, and the recommended one is 16 GB or more. Why? Because this Android Studio application along with this emulator, right, these are the RAM consuming application. A single emulator will consume anywhere between 8 to 10 GB of RAM. So just imagine the load that system will be taking when this application is launched and running. So to make sure that it works completely fine on your system without system getting hanged, right, it's better to use 16 GB RAM, but with 8 GB also it works fine, but we need to make sure that other applications are not running when Android Studio application is running. Okay, and coming to the CPU, the minimum version is x86 64 CPU architecture, 2nd gen Intel Core or any newer, or the AMD CPU with support for Windows Hypervisor framework. So this we will see at the end of this video. And the recommended one is latest Intel Core processor. And coming to the disk space, it requires minimum 8 GB. And the recommended one is SSD, that is solid state drive with 16 GB or more. And this is the minimum screen resolution, and the recommended one is this. So make sure that your system is meeting this minimum criteria at least, so that you guys can successfully install this and run fine on your system. Okay, so let me go back. And we can download this application from two places. We can directly scroll down here and download this executable file, or you can directly go up and click on this. Okay, so both will take you guys to the same page. So let me do from here. So you can download the zip folder also, but it's better to download the direct executable file. So let me do that. So if I click on this, it will ask me to agree to the terms and condition. We need to scroll down and enable this checkbox and click on this. So once I click on this, right, it will start downloading the file for me. Okay, so like this. Now let me cancel this because it is already downloaded in my system, and the file size is 1.1 GB. Okay, so once it is downloaded, so this is how it looks. Android Studio, that version with the patch number and the Windows. So this is the executable file. To install, you need to double click on this and you will get a pop-up like this. This is a system pop-up. I have taken this screenshot, photo in my mobile, because we'll not be able to take the screenshot of this because it's a system pop-up. So here you need to select yes, and you will get a windows like this. Okay, here you need to select next, which will take you to this page, sorry, this window, where it is saying select the components to install. If you observe one thing, by default Android Studio application is Android Studio checkbox is enabled, and you will not be able to change anything because it's kind of grayed out here. Okay, so only option that is giving to the user is that you can download Android virtual device, or we can disable this and skip this installation. But for our automation, right, we need Android virtual device because we need emulator. So emulator is a part of Android virtual device. Okay, and if you guys are trying to do the automation with the help of physical device, that is connecting the physical device directly to your laptop with the help of USB cable, then you guys can skip it, but it's better to have Android virtual device as well. Okay, and the required space is 3.6 GB. Okay, and you need to click on the next button here, which will take you to this page where it is saying that the default installation location of this application is here, the Android Studio. If you want, you can change the installation location, but it's better to leave it at the default installation location itself. And it requires minimum 500 MB of free space. Okay, and after that you need to click on next button, and this is for the shortcuts. You can just click on install, which will start the installation for you. Okay, this will take couple of minutes. Okay, so we have to wait. So once the installation is completed, this is how it shows, and you guys need to click on next button. Okay, so here it will say that it will start the Android Studio application, and let the checkbox be enabled, and you click on finish so that Android Studio application will be opened. Okay, now before opening, it will give you this pop-up where you want to send the usage statistics to Google or not. You can click on don't send. If you want, you can send this usage statistics. Again, it's up to you guys. Now once it is launched, right, so this is how it looks. Again, one more thing, guys, that if you guys are installing this application for the very first time in your system, you might not be seeing this screen. You might be seeing somewhat like this or this screen. Okay, since I was using this Android Studio application for the long time with the previous versions, right? So I'm directly taken to this page. Now people who have who are using this Android application for the long time, right? So you guys might also be seeing this screen. First, we need to set up the Android SDK, right? So how do we do that? We need to click on this settings icon beside the user icon, and we need to select this SDK manager, which will take us to this page. And here it says Android SDK location cannot be at file system root. We need to edit it. So click on edit button, and here we need to select. By default, this will be selected. So here it says these are the components that it will install, and it is trying to install Android 14, that is API 34, and the downloadable size is 623 MB, and this is the Android SDK location installation path. So this is important, guys. So make sure that you guys are copy pasting this value in Notepad or Word document somewhere, because we need to set the path till this folder, SDK folder, in our environment variables. Okay, now you have to click on the next button here, and yeah, so here it says along with that which all components will be installed and where it is installing, and this is just a confirmation page. Now here also we need to click on next, and here we need to agree to accept the license and agreement. Okay, so once you accept it, the next button will be enabled, and you have to click on next button, which will start downloading and installing this application. Okay, this will take again some couple of minutes based on your internet speed. So once it is done, it will show like this: Android SDK is up to date, and you need to click on finish button, which will take you guys back to this screen. So here, if you guys are not able to see these level details, right, probably that this checkbox, the show package details checkbox, might be disabled. You need to enable this checkbox so that you guys can have a detailed view like this. Here the latest Android version is Android 15 vanilla ice cream. So currently it is not installed. That's fine. If required, we can install anytime. And let us go back to the tools that are installed. That is Android 14, and here we can see that Android SDK platform 34 API level that is installed, and sources for Android 34 is also installed. Okay, so rest all are not installed. That is also fine, which is not required at this point of time. The main thing what we need to do is that we need to click on SDK tools. Okay, we need to click on this SDK tools and make sure that Android emulator is installed. Is it installed? Yes, make sure that that is installed. And Android SDK platform tools is also installed. And Android SDK build tools 35, right? So if it is not installed, please do install this as well. Simple, you have to enable this. And along with that, I would recommend you guys to install this as well. That is Android SDK command line tools, the latest one. So why do we need is that we can, if you install this, right, we can with the help of SDK manager and AVD manager, right, we can interact with this Android Studio application using the command prompt. Okay, so no need to open the Android Studio application. So we can, with the help of command prompt, we can do some actions. So that's why we need this command line tools. So once it is selected, you need to click on OK, which you will get a pop-up like this, confirm change, and the download size is 137, close to 137 MB, and click on OK. So this will start downloading and installing. It will be done within a minute. So once it is done, you need to click on finish, which will take us back to this page, and make sure that whichever the components that you guys have selected should be installed. The status should change from not installed to installed, like this. Okay. So once this is done, you need to click on this OK, and that is it. So that is all the required setup we need to do on the Android Studio UI application. So the next thing what we need to do is that we need to set the path variables in our Windows system to make sure that we can access this Android Studio application anywhere inside the system. So this is similar to how we have done when we have downloaded and installed Java and we have set the path, right? Similar way we need to do for Android Studio as well. Okay, so the first thing what we need to do is that we need to create a system variable with name Android_home, and we need to set the path till SDK folder. If you guys have not changed the default installation location, then this should be the default installation location, that is C drive, users, and your system name, AppData, local, Android, and SDK folder. Along with that, we need to set we need to add two values to the path variable. So that is one till platform tools and one till the bin folder. Okay, so why do we need to set the path? Again, here also one more thing, we can set the path we can directly just copy the path till here and paste it, or we can take the help of Android home variable, which will anyways give the path till SDK folder till here, and we just have to add the path till platform tools, and similarly for command line tools latest bin. So you guys can choose any one of the approach, both works fine. Okay, so let me show you where the Android Studio is installed in my system. So we need to go to the C drive, users, my name. So this is how it looks. And one more thing, AppData is a hidden folder. So when you navigate to this path, you might not be seeing this AppData folder. That is because in your system that view hidden folder might be disabled. You need to go and enable that view hidden files, so that hidden files and folders, so that you will be able to see this AppData folder, and you need to click on this and go till SDK folder. Okay, so AppData, local, Android, SDK. So we can see that command line tools is also there, platform tools is also there. So we need to set the path, we need to add the value to the path variable till here, platform tools, so that we can use the ADB. What is ADB? ADB stands for Android Debug Bridge, which is required for debugging our Android application, managing emulators, and also transferring files between your Windows system and the Android devices, and executing few commands on this device. So this we will see in detail in the upcoming tutorials. And also we need to set the path till bin folder of the command line tools, so that we can use this AVD and SDK manager, which will help us to manage our SDK packages, be it could be install or update. And also we can create and manage our Android virtual devices, which are required to run the Android emulators with the help of command prompt. Okay, so let us do that. So the first thing what we need to do is that you have to search in your Windows system, go to the search folder, search bar, and enter edit the system environment variables, and you need to select this option, edit the system environment variables. And here under the advanced section, you need to click on this environment variables, which will take us to this page. And here under the system variables, you need to click on new. Okay, and you need to add the variable name as Android_home, and you need to add the value till SDK folder here. Okay, and click on OK. So once it is done, the path, the system variable is done. The next thing what we need to do is that we need to go to this path variable, which is already created if you have set the path for Java or Home, Java and Maven. If not, you need to create that path variable and add the values. Okay, so since it is already available, I need to select this and click on edit. Okay, under edit, so we can see that path variable has so many values already, and we need to click on this new so that I can add the path till this platform tools here. You just have to click on new and copy this value and paste it here. And second value we need to add is that till bin folder of this command line tools and paste it here. So once it is done, you need to click on OK button. So this is one way of doing it. So another way of doing is that like this, with the help of handle home variable, which will give us the path till SDK folder, and we just have to add the platform tools. Similar way, till SDK folder, command line tools, latest bin. So command line SDK, command line tools, latest bin. Both works fine. Both have tested it. It is giving me the proper output. So you guys can choose any one you want. Okay. Now after that is done, you have to click on OK button, and here also OK, and here also OK. So once it is done, how do we make sure that whatever the path that we have set, it is working fine? Same way, we just have to open the relaunch your command prompt. I mean, don't forget, again, you have to relaunch it, relaunch the command prompt and type ADB. So once you type this and hit enter, right, this is the output you should be getting. Okay. So if you are getting an output like this, that means your Android Studio application is successfully installed and your system is, able to recognize the tools, that is the ADB tools from your system, which is present in the platform tools of this Android Studio application. This is the path. Okay. And one more thing you guys can also do is that you can get the value of your Android home with the help of this command, that is echo space percentage symbol Android underscore home, again percentage, and hit enter. That should fetch you the value till the SDK folder. Okay, so if you guys are getting this, that means it is working fine in your system, so that you guys can go ahead and start using this Android application. Okay, be it for your app development or for your automation. So after this is done, the next thing what we need to do, again this is specifically for Windows machine, is that enabling virtualization. So why do we need virtualization? Because I have already told you, right? So this Android Studio and emulator, these are the RAM consuming application. So if you enable the virtualization will make sure that your Android emulator will run more smoothly and efficiently with the help of your system's hardware. Okay, so again, this is purely with respect to the performance of the emulator. So it's better to enable it on your laptop. Okay, so there are multiple ways, not multiple ways actually. The steps to enable this virtualization varies from one laptop to another laptop. For example, if you guys are using HP laptop, the steps will be different, and if you guys are using Dell laptop, the steps will be different. So how do we enable it then? Because this virtualization enabling is present in your system BIOS. Simple. If you guys are using HP laptop, you need to go to the browser and type in enable virtualization in HP laptop and scroll down. For HP laptop, I would recommend you guys to go to this one actually, the salad.com, this one, enable virtualization on HP PCs. Okay, and here it says these are the steps. You need to restart your computer, and immediately, this is important, immediately press F10 key so that you guys can enter into this BIOS setup facility utility. Okay, and follow the steps, and under this configuration tab you will be having virtualization technology, and you have to enable it, and you just follow the remaining steps. Okay, so again, that is for HP. These are the brands, and this is for HP Workstation Business Series PCs. Okay, so this is for HP laptop, and if you see for HP, you need to press F10. Whereas when it comes to the Dell laptop, again you have to type in enable virtualization in Dell laptop if you guys are using Dell laptop, and here itself, the Dell official website, we have this enable and disable virtualization. So here, one same thing, you have to power on your system, but here you need to press F2. Whereas in HP it was F10, here it is F2. So same steps you need to follow as it is, and enable that virtualization in your system. Okay, and if you guys are using Samsung, same thing, you have to type in like how to enable virtualization in Samsung laptop or Lenovo laptop, like that. Okay, you getting me right? So once it is enabled, you need to make sure whether that is successfully enabled or not. So for that, you need to go to this search bar and type task manager. Okay, once you type it, right, which you will take us to this page. Again, I was not able to take the screenshot because of the security concern. So here it will show all the application that is currently running. Here we need to select this performance button. Let me zoom in and show you that how it looks. So this is how it looks, the performance button. Okay, you need to select this performance button, which will take you guys to this page where you can see that virtualization is enabled. Okay, if you have successfully enabled in your BIOS, this is how it should show. Okay, so make sure this is enabled in your what is that? Yeah, performance. Okay, so this is how you guys can cross check whether it is enabled or disabled. And one more thing, what you guys have to do after enabling virtualization is that you have to enable Windows hypervisor in your system. Let me show you the steps for that. Here in browser, you need to type Android Studio Virtualization and click on this first link. Okay, so you have to scroll down all the way till here, configure VM acceleration on Windows. Okay, this is one more additional step we need to do it because that Windows hypervisor platform, the framework, we need it. So those steps are present here. Okay, we need to install this Windows hypervisor framework on your Windows. So the steps is we have to go to the Windows desktop, right click on it and select the apps and feature, or you can directly go to your search bar and type turn Windows feature on or off, which will directly take you to this window. Okay, and here you need to, by default it will be disabled, that is Windows hypervisor platform. You need to enable it. Okay, you need to enable this and click on OK. So once that is done, your system will be restarted. And once the system is restarted, again you go back to this window by following the same steps and make sure that this is enabled. Okay, so once it is enabled, then this entire Android Studio application setup is completed now. Okay, so these are the steps we need to follow, guys. Hope you guys are also able to properly, successfully install your application, Android Studio application on Windows system, and set the path variables, system variables, enabling the virtualization, and also enable the Windows hypervisor on your system as well. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for your time in watching this video. Please do let me know if you guys are facing issues in any of the steps that I have explained so far, so that I can help you guys. Okay, so thanks again. Have a great day, guys. See you in the next video.